Watch your Nooklings. Now, for this year, this Christmas, I have been racking my brains as to what to do for a Christmas themed video. Part of that is because obviously with all the delays I've had recently, I knew I wasn't going to get the things I'd initially planned done. So, yeah, I was at a bit of a loss until I saw this little guy, who's backwards. This little guy, who's also not quite so little. I saw him in a charity shop window, thrift store window. As soon as I saw him, I knew what I wanted to do. I was back and forthing with him for a bit, but decided I've got to do it. It's got to be done. So let's head on over to the desk and get going. It feels good to be back. Okay, so starting off, yes, it looks like I've already made some attempts with this guy. That's because I did. And two reasons why I undid it. One was because I forgot to take photos for the thumbnail of the before and after. And two, I'd attempted to use foil, aluminium foil structure. But yeah, that just didn't work. I tried gluing it on with Gorilla Glue because Gorilla Glue is really good, and yeah, I think because of all the deep grooves in his fur that are the detailing, just meant they weren't going to stick together. So I just decided to do it this way instead. I am using the Fimo clay. Obviously, since doing this, I have learnt that it's not the best for these kind of modifications, and my least favourite clay is actually best. So I will probably purchase some of that in the future, probably for my next makeover, though not the next one you'll see because that one's already done. But yeah, going back to what I was saying about this guy, literally as soon as I saw him in the shop window, I was just like, he needs antlers. And I did briefly debate just giving him like a headband with antlers on it, and I was just like, no, this would be the perfect opportunity to create a hybrid. So that's what I did. So obviously sculpted the antlers and just decided to give him hooves instead of paws. So he's not like got a major amount of reindeer in him, just a little bit. He's mostly meerkat, but yeah, he's just so adorable and I love him, even before I did anything to him. And let me tell you though, he was a pain to film just because of how big he is. So obviously this is the top down, and it's the only top down because I just realised it just wasn't going to work. Because I start working on his feet again and you can't really see what I'm doing. There's actually quite a bit of footage that I couldn't use because I didn't angle the camera right, but you know what, I did my best, and like I say, I love the entire outcome of this. Yeah. I'm gonna pause waffling for a minute. Let's listen to some music. So after giving him his hybrid features, there was one other thing I really wanted to change, and that was I wanted to make his jumper a hoodie. Just the whole feel of this guy is that he's a youngster. I mean, you can tell that just by looking at him before I've done anything. I just felt like he needed a hoodie rather than just a Christmas sweater, sweatshirt, jumper, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I have got a reference next to me of how a hoodie looks from behind, because obviously when you're wearing one you can't see what it looks like from behind. And I wanted to get it as close as possible, you know, make it actually look like a hood. Yeah, and then initially what I had thought of doing was sort of blending the hood into the collar of his shirt and just make that part of it. but that didn't work quite how I wanted it to, so I end up keeping it as a shirt collar. You know, and again, not fussed about that, you know, using the handle of the tool for the texture, because there is texture on these handles, which is quite handy. It's not the same texture as his jumper, but you know, it helps. Yeah. So, oh yeah, one of the antlers just wouldn't I don't know why I didn't blend it quite the same as the first one. I just didn't blend it into his head the same way, so that's why it came off. And obviously I wanted to give him an extra prong on each of his antlers, again because I want him to be more of a younger character. I didn't want I didn't want him to have a full set of antlers, you know, an adult set of antlers. So yeah, it needed to look like he was still an infant, sort of youngster. I don't know, maybe like 10 in human years, whatever. Anyway, that's enough of that. But yeah, it's just blending in, and I know I said I'm using Fimo, and I forgot to say it is the air dry clay, because whilst he probably could have gone in the oven, I wasn't sure, mostly because of how big he is. And we go onto the gesso, and yes, I'm watching Sin City Yeti. Whilst doing this, I'd forgotten I'd done this, because sometimes I will watch videos whilst I'm creating. Most of the time though, I do listen to music. However, if you want to see what Sin City Yeti created in his video, you'll have to check that out after this one. I'll link it down below. And then I moved on to the airbrushing. Now, I didn't do a full layer of gesso because I'm not changing the colours massively. But obviously there are some differences that I wanted to do, and let me tell you, I was really nervous to use this airbrush. I'd never used it before. It came in one of Nerdy Crafters kits. I probably should have looked at the instructions again, because I completely forgotten what I was, you know, I had a vague idea, but it's things like changing the pressure and all that sort of fancy stuff. Now, I did adjust the colours on this footage as best as I could to try and get it looking semi-decent. You can probably see the cloud of paint that's coming off. Don't do what I did. Yes, I did have the window open, it was ventilated and everything in the room. However, I forgot to put a mask on, which was really dumb. So it looked like I had a nosebleed for a bit because of the red paint, but it's okay. I sorted it. I've only done it once. I won't forget to do that again. And then for the rest of him, I pretty much did some dry brushing, just to change variation. Oh, he looks so yellow at the moment, but that will change as I progress with all the dry brushing, and the dry brushing just works so well with his fur texture. Yeah, I was really happy I was able to get that done, and just get him to look the way I wanted him to. So now we're just gonna briefly talk about where I've been. If you've been keeping up with my posts or the community tab, you'll know that I have had some major issues with my editing software. I also sort of touched on this in the journaling video I recently released. And yeah, just trying to get everything sorted. Like I think I said in that one that transitions weren't loading at one point. And then I did finally start to get to editing this video, and then it decided that it couldn't save it, because since the update of this software, what it's done is it now automatically backs up to the cloud, which is fine, but it just said there wasn't enough space in the folder, and that was a whole thing. So I've actually edited this in chunks to try and help with that. I have deleted some older video files. All videos I've already uploaded to YouTube. So yeah, I wanted to just get everything sorted before I started uploading, because I want to be able to upload as consistently as possible. The idea being going back to every week like I was doing. We shall see what happens. Oh yeah, so onto the jumper, the hoodie. As you've probably seen, I do like my colour block. the hoodie that I am wearing is a colour block. I have the Nerdy Crafted Dragon colour block hoodie, and also the Flareon t-shirt from the Pokemon Center that's also colour block. And I just thought it'd be more fun and more sort of, again, tying into his being a younger character. I do change this shade a little bit, I just lighten it, because I tried to do the dry brushing on the hoodie, but I don't think the texture was quite deep enough. It just would not work, which was a shame, because it would have made it look really, really cool, I think. But, you know, you work with what you got, and I'm still happy, like I say, with the outcome. So yeah, going back to going forward from here on out, yeah, we should be, yes, I am holding my paintbrush in my mouth, just don't question it, it's just something I do. So yeah, videos should be back to being consistent. Now, I am actually quite a few videos behind, obviously, because I was still creating things whilst I was waiting for the software to fix itself, or, you know, be fixed by the tech people that deal with these things. So this is the only Christmas video. Thankfully, it was the only one I'd done. But as I said, I just so happy with him. I couldn't not post his video, and I couldn't wait till next Christmas. Just, yeah, too long. Plus, I kind of, you know, I'm using him again in other projects. Yeah, so there's quite a few things coming up. There's a lot of exciting things that I'm looking forward to, and looking forward to sharing with you. The Nooklings are coming back. There may or may not be another species or two. We shall see. I don't want to give too much away, you know. Like I say, I love sharing this stuff with you guys. And I'm really loving what I'm doing with the Nooklings and where they're going. And yeah, there should be a lot of fun stuff coming up. As I mentioned in the journaling video, we're very close to 100 subscribers now. I think last I looked, we were about 10 away. So there will be a mini Q&A video coming up when we hit that 100. So again, if you've got any questions you want to ask, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Now, this is where I fixed the original. I couldn't place my finger on it, but on the original design there was something really off about this meerkat, and I couldn't place it. And it's when I finally looked up references for meerkats, because before this point I was just using my memory. I'd forgotten about all that, you know, I knew they had darker markings, but I'd forgotten they were like round the eyes and stuff. So I did add that in. Oh, he looks really jaundiced in this. I don't know why. I mean, you know, I did want a sort of yellowy brown, obviously, for him, but he doesn't look like that in real life at all, which is a relief. And actually, once the light shifted, he doesn't look so bad. Yeah, this is me attempting the dry brushing. Gave up. Oh yes. Why I had the camera on the right hand side, it's a really bad idea. Don't put the camera on your dominant side, because you end up doing a lot of this and blocking the camera. Which again, there was like this whole section where all you could see was my arm. Just like, okay, we can't use that. So there are bits you missed, like doing more detailing on, in fact, I think the detailing on the antlers is missing altogether. The other thing was I didn't reposition the camera. Like, I might have zoomed in or zoomed out, but I never tilted it so you could see like when I was painting his feet or painting his antlers. So what I actually end up doing with his antlers is trying to convey like a fluffy texture, because reindeer antlers do go through a velvet stage. I'm trying to remember now without looking it up, which is probably not a good idea. But I think it's like during the spring where they start to shed, something like that. I'm fairly sure youngsters have it more than adults, but I could be wrong on that. But I just thought the velvet kind of look would sort of again tie into his younger look. The other thing you don't see me do is change the shade of blue I use on his jeans. I thought I recorded that, but apparently I didn't. at all. It's not that you couldn't see, it's that I didn't record it whatsoever, which is very bizarre. But there we go. Yeah, so many nooks and crannies in this guy. I would have changed his tail, but because he's got such a long tail and there's just no easy way to remove it, I wasn't even gonna try. I would have given him a reindeer tail, but hey ho, is what it is. I could have given him reindeer markings, but I just thought the meerkat ones were just that much cuter. I'm sorry to say. They just... And the other thing I very nearly did was I nearly gave him a red nose, like Rudolph. But Jay made me see sense and just said he would look really stupid with a red nose. And he's probably right, he probably would have. I mean, it could have looked cute, but... And, you know, it's easy enough to paint over, but I just decided against it completely. It was really nice to finally give him some eyes so he could see properly. Yeah, and then I tried going in with my Artex acrylic markers for the finer details, but part of the issue was I was really worried about ruining the nibs, and yeah, they couldn't. I mean, look at the position of my hand like that. That was not comfortable to do. Just trying to get in all the nooks and crannies. It was a lot easier to use my very fine brush, so that's what I end up doing with that. Yeah, so I'm going to stop waffling whilst we finish off and let you guys enjoy the final few steps of the process. He is all done. So this is Merry, and I'm really happy with how he's turned out. You know, they're not massive changes, but enough that he does look unique. The only thing I haven't done that I really want to do is I want to put some UV resin on his eyes and on his nose just to make them a bit shinier. However, I've kind of misplaced my UV torch. Being in the UK this time of year, it's rather grey and overcast, and has been for a while, so you know, I need the torch to do it. As soon as I find that, I will get that done. But yeah, just really love how he turned out. You know, there's some slight errors, imperfections is probably the better way of saying it, but I still love him. Yeah, he's not going away, even though he's Christmas themed. He's not going away, he's staying. Yeah, just so happy with him. Yeah, so that's going to be it for this one, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to stay uniquely you, and I'll catch you Nooklings next time.